The idea of freedom is when you actually can step forward without judgment. When you can let something come, when you can let something emerge. And so I'm going to tell you a couple stories, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience, and then I'm going to get you to draw. Sweet. So when I was 3, I would run from one side of my room all the way to the other and throw my body against the door because I wasn't happy with what was happening. In college, I started as an engineer and found myself in my metals class testing the torque of the metal, but I was also making jewelry. And I thought, this is interesting, right? Adding extra holes in metal so that I could sling a chain through it. For my art thesis, I built walls instead of just creating paintings for people to look at. I wanted to create an experience. I wanted people to be able to walk through. As an Outward Bound instructor, after school, there is nothing quite like watching your students walk along the path when one of them actually realizes we weren't kidding when we said there were no toilets out here. It makes me think about context, right? And the expectations that we set up for ourselves within different contexts. I also learned a little bit about the nitty-gritty in organizations through an OD, Organization Development, master's degree program. And I'm just going to let y'all take this one in. I've never been one of those artists who create something beautifully easily. I always had to work really hard to come up with anything that almost looked like something, and even still, I was really just challenging perspectives. I was looking at what is and saying, how can I push that further? How can I figure out a different way to look at that? After school, I was trying to figure out what to do with my life, and had a conversation via the phone with a professor who said to me, Amanda, why aren't you doing what you want to be doing? Maybe it is good enough. Maybe it's even good. And that question for me had me almost speechless, had me putting things together like, wow, this is my realization. What am I really not doing? And so I said, okay, I want to do it. I'm going to step up and I'm going to choose the visual. And I'm going to do what I can as a visual practitioner. Instead of the OD, which is sort of the middle, or the leadership, team building type work with Outward Bound. And those are still very much a part of me. But for now, I'm going to focus my energy on the visual practitioner side of things. One of the things that I found that amazed me the most was the amount of time that somebody would give me. If I walked up to them and said, check this out, this is really cool, I've just been at this conference, it's Plexus, complexity, about all this stuff. This person I'm talking to couldn't care less about complexity, but because I had these visuals to show, they would listen to me for over 15 minutes. Completely amazed. If I walked up with just some notes that were written, would I have 30 seconds with them? Maybe. And so it gets me thinking, this isn't new. Why, let's bring it back. It's time to try it again. And maybe we've taken it too far, right? We have in the upper left maybe some kids trying to learn what are the ABCs, and even those, the A, the B, the C, those are visuals. We draw them every day. And we know within the context that they create some meaning. But maybe we've taken it too far. You might see on the right that some of those words are upside down from that one person. They are not actually connecting. They're speaking different languages. And so I'm trying this. I'm stepping in. I'm doing the visual practitioner thing. And what I get, the reaction I get from people in the world is that this is cool. Wow, what you do is so cool. And sometimes I just say, yes, thank you. But other times I say, it's cool, and there's more to it than that. Just like, this is one of the things I actually learned from Plexus last year, and so on and so forth, but looking at the and model instead of the or model. I can't love perfectly, so I'm not going to love. Do we say that? Because we're saying that when we say, I can't draw perfectly, so I'm not going to draw. You might see the beauty that's hidden, perhaps, in the left bottom corner. And my point there is that beauty sometimes is a side effect. It might happen, but we can communicate without something being beautiful. If you can understand the marks that I made, then we are connecting in a better way, on a better level. And so I'm doing what I can to figure out how to push the envelope, figure out how to pull and push and figure out things within education, within healthcare, within any conversation I'm having with people, to add a visual and to get somebody to actually go back and draw again. And so I'm going to urge you to do this too. And if we can create it as part of the network, if it can be a node that's as important as reading, as writing, as the rest of it, if our visual literacy can be leveled up, shall we will. You can do it too. And so I've given you all a piece of paper, and I'm asking you to make a mark, to draw something. I'm giving you the next 2 slides to do this as well.
We have 40 seconds.
You have 40 seconds. Go. Make a mark. If you want to draw something, draw yourself. There's a couple possible stick figures. Maybe you're just a question mark. Maybe you're a couple raindrops because you just got wet. Take a second. Draw something. If I were drawing right now, I might be drawing something. I might have drawn something like this. Me looking out at all of you. Taking a deep breath. And so I'm going to urge you to try to take some of those conversations that you're having and add the dimension of paper. Bring paper into your conversations. See what happens. Make a mark. Step out and be vulnerable and see what happens. I said see what happens again. Must find a thesaurus. I'm going to replace that question that my professor asked me once with this one. Is it raw? Is it real? Is it authentic? It's not about being beautiful and creating beauty via drawings. It's about having and feeling the freedom to be able to draw without judgment. And so I invite you all to jump into our community mural right in the back right there.